Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Khoj Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. We continue with our recitation from Bhavan Akri, the 13th Slok and Pauri. The recitation, Slok. Aatam Ras Jeh Janiya, Har Rang Sahje Maan. नानक तन 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 जन आए ते परवान पौड़ी आया सफलता हूँ को गणिए जास रसन हर हर जस पन्नीए आए बसह साधु के संगे अनंदन नाम त्यावह रंगे आवत सो जन नाम है राता जाको दया मया विधाता एक है आवन फिर जोनी न आया नानक हर के दर्श समाया. So here the fifth Nanak, Guru Arjan, is painting the picture of a successful life, or the conditions that lead to a successful life. Of course, the measure of success is that of Gurmat. That is the standard by which we are measuring whether or not life is successful. And he begins by telling us that the chief hallmark of a successful life is Har Rang Sahje Maan. Har Rang, love of the divine. Sahje, if it becomes, Sahje means, literally means Sahaj, that means that which is born together. So this essentially says that those who grasp the essential identity of the finite and the infinite, the phenomenal and noumenal reality, they who realize this achieve a state of Sahaj, that is the highest dimension of consciousness, or the goal, or the measure of success of a life. Aatam Ras Jeh Janiya. Aatam Ras, Ras is the essence of the Aatam, the self. Aatam, which is devoid of ignorance, where there is enlightenment. Aatam Ras Jeh Janiya, Har Rang Sahje Maan. In that mind, the state of Sahaj prevails, which essentially means that love, Har Rang, becomes the natural state of that mind. The mind effortlessly lives in a state of love, Har Rang. And to such a life, Nanak offers his salutations. Nanak tan tan, tan jan aaye te parwan. He offers his salutations to those who have achieved that state of Sahaj, because that alone is the measure of an authentic life. Aaye te parwan. Parwan, among other things, also means authentic, real. And they are blessed with the richness of experience. Tan jan aaye te parwan. So you see, the fullness of experience of this life comes when you grasp the reality that the infinite and the finite, the material and the non-material, are all together. They're all of one essence, essentially. Then there can be no room for any distance. And he elaborates further in the Pauri. Again, he says, Aya safalta hu ko ganiye. Count that life as being fruitful or successful where jas rasan har jas paniye. Har jasana, har jas rasan, har rasan, the tongue. Jas is glorification, har of the self. What is the glorification of the self in a practical way? What it is saying here is a fruitful life or a successful life should be guided by speech that is laced with wisdom. So if wisdom lines our speech and guides our actions, har jas janiya, that is a measure of success. And then again, a successful life is lived in enlightened company. Aay base sadhu ke sange. And is directed by Guru wisdom. Andan naam te aave range. With love, brings to his or her attention self-knowledge, being directed by self-knowledge. So this is a matter of grace and mercy of the Creator, to be imbued with self-knowledge. One can make the effort, and one should, but with the attitude. Grace is a matter of attitude, humility, where you know that, because if you try to force it with effort, then it becomes a neurosis, because then it is the I that is really trying to do it. And it is the I that you want to transcend. So there is always an element of grace, because the self has to completely obliterate itself. Only then, the Guru tells us, the cycle of coming and going. Ek hai avan fir joan na aaya. Joan is literally the womb. So what it's saying here is that the self is in a cycle. It's being processed ceaselessly in this cycle of coming and going. Coming and going means to acquire a body, an instrument. The body is an instrument in order to have an embodied experience, a rich experience of itself, you see. But this cycle can be painful for the self because it's fractured from its true nature. And that is why it has to return to Sahaj. And that comes only when one's life is shaped by the vision of Guru wisdom, Nanak har ke dars samaya. So that's the way to do it. On that note, until the next time, Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.